All right, here we go again. Buckle up, because something's bound to come soon. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Molly, and in this video I'm going to be listening to the album Miss Machine from the band the Dillinger Escape Plan. Now this is the Dillinger Escape Plan's second studio album. They released it in 2004, and so far I have heard their debut album Calculating Infinity and their EP Irony is a Dead Scene, which had Mike Patton on vocals, and both of those were crazy good, just absolutely wild with their sound. I enjoyed every second of them, just such entertaining projects. So I am very, very excited now to hear Miss Machine. This is also the first Dillinger Escape Plan featuring Greg Puciato on vocals, so I am very interested to hear what his voice is going to sound like and kind of what he's going to bring to the Dillinger Escape Plan sound. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right on into my reaction to Miss Machine. Alright, up first is track 1, which is called Panasonic Youth. I liked that little switch up there, how the electric guitar came in, and then it was almost like the song changed tempo a little bit. There's a nice groove to this part, actually. That part right there on the vocals actually reminded me a lot of System of a Down. That was the first song, Panasonic Youth. Absolutely crazy insanity with its sound. It's just so much coming at you, you wouldn't think it would work, but it does. Somehow they just fuse it together in a really weirdly cohesive way. And I really liked Greg's vocals on that one. At times he actually kind of reminded me a little bit of Mike Patton. There's a lot of similarity there with some of his vocal tones that he was doing. But moving on to track 2, we have Sunshine the Werewolf. That percussion was cool. I think there's a little bit more of an intensity, like a heavy quality to the sound of the second track. Alright, a classic Dillinger Escape Plan change up here. Now all of a sudden we have this really calm interlude of sorts. I love this part of this track. It's bringing so much intensity to it. What am I listening to right now? Is that like some really distorted orchestral sounds? Well, that was track 2, Sunshine the Werewolf. That one was amazing. That one kind of just blew my mind a little bit, not gonna lie. Again, just the variety on that one was absolutely insane. They changed that song up so much, and I loved the really atmospheric part there, where it got really quiet and slowed down, and then they just like brought all of that energy back, and there was so much power to that song. Okay, moving on to track 3, we have Highway Robbery. That bass, I love it. Yeah, there's definitely some flares from time to time on this album I'm hearing that are very reminiscent of Mr. Bungle to me. There's just a sort of playfulness to the sound. Was that a different vocalist? All right, here we go again. Buckle up, because something's bound to come soon. I love this percussion. Track 3, Highway Robbery. That one was a really fun track. I think I said this in my Calculating Infinity reaction, but there's something about the Dillinger Escape Plan's music. It's very entertaining to listen to, and there's parts of it that are very kind of lighter sounding and jazzier and a little bit more fluid. It's a little bit less harsh and abrasive with its sound, even though it is at the same time. But moving on to track 4, we have Van Damsel. I think there's a little bit of vocal distortion they were using there. It's just like an explosion. All of a sudden, everything bursts out in sound at once. That was an impressive vocal delivery right there. Is that a whistle? Or like a really high-pitched beeping tone almost? Okay, and it flowed again right into the next track really, really well. But that was track 4, Van Damsel. I really liked the ending of that, kind of haunting and creepy sounding. I'm really enjoying Greg Puciato's vocals on this one. I think he's got a great range and he brings a lot of power to his voice, but it's also very clear as well. Like, it's really easy to hear what he's saying. All right, continuing on with track 5, we have Phone Home. Oh yeah, I love the sound of this one. It's so haunting and restrained and kind of like something's creeping up on you. I absolutely love how his vocals were so pulled in and kind of menacing on that quiet part at the start, and then he's bringing the power now on this louder portion. And there's like that really prominent kind of droning sound too in the background, and it's just got this really creepy, eerie sound to it. That was a pretty abrupt ending to that one, but that was track 5, Phone Home. Right up my alley in terms of the tone of it at the start there, like really withheld and very atmospheric, almost kind of electronic sounding. Like it was almost giving me a 9 Inch Nails kind of vibe. So moving on to track 6, we have We Are the Storm. Okay, this one's bringing a little bit more of a staccato-ness, like a sharpness to it. That last track was so smooth and kind of more drawn out. I like that guitar tone in the background. I just love how their tracks are so unrelenting, and then it's like all of a sudden just they pull you right out of it, and it's almost like they give you some time to breathe, and then there's like this really languid, mellow section to a lot of their tracks. I love how much the bass is really standing out on this part. That was track 6, We Are the Storm. I thought that one did a fantastic job really highlighting Greg's vocal range. Not only range like high and low notes, but range as in like the mood he can set with his voice. When they brought the energy, he's just so unrelenting. There's like a harshness to his voice, but then he can make it so soft and smooth and melodic at the same time. It's just so impressive. All right, up next is track 7, which is called Crutchfield Tongs. Very industrial. It almost sounds like an engine or some sort of machine at work. And I think it's just going to fade out. Track 7, Crutchfield Tongs. Just a short little 52-second track there. Kind of like a break from all the craziness on this album. But very mechanical sounding. Also very rhythmic. But I'm just going to move on to track 8, which is called Setting Fire to Sleeping Giants.
First off, let me say, think about another world. Tonight!
That song started out kind of normal sounding, and then it quickly became a Dillinger Escape Plan song. There's a really great bounciness to this one. Like the vocals are going crazy, but the instrumentals kind of have a more just traditional rock sound to them almost. That guitar tone in the background is so screechy sounding. See, this sounds like Mike Patton. It's very reminiscent to his voice. Yeah, this part of this track is really throwing me. Like, it's very smooth. There's just not a lot of harshness on certain parts of this track. Track 8, Setting Fire to Sleeping Giants. That one was really unexpected with the tone it took. Just a little bit less harshness, like his voice was very smooth on a lot of parts of that track, but then he did bring a little bit of aggressiveness on the chorus there. It got a little bit punchier. And then again, with that slowed down bridge, it brought a really smooth, jazzy quality to that song, like a very relaxing sound. But up next is track 9, which is called Baby's First Coffin. Kind of a morbid track title. Their music just has a great ability to kind of wind you up and get you really tense almost, and then they'll release all of that tension and it kind of falls into this really relaxing kind of languid jazzy part. There's like some electronic weird buzzing sound going on. Yeah, you see what I mean? It's like now you can just kind of like, relax, kind of sit back and enjoy this little slower portion here before the insanity comes back. There's kind of an echoiness to his voice on this part. That was track 9, Baby's First Coffin. It almost sounded like a dog barking there at the very end, like with his vocals, just how abrupt they were, and they were just kind of coming right at you. But then you contrast it with that bridge there, where his voice was just so smooth and buttery. It had a great tone to it. His voice is so versatile that sometimes it sounds like there's multiple vocalists. It's really, really cool. All right, up next is track 10, which is called Unretrofied. Okay, this one has a bit of a different tone to it. Kind of an orchestral start, and now there's like an electronic tone in the background too that I'm picking up on. His voice weirdly reminds me of Brendan Urie, the lead singer of Panic at the Disco. When he sings in this more clear register, I'm kind of picking up on some similarities there. Yeah, this one is so smooth with its delivery. It's very different. Okay, never mind. Now it just kind of changed a little bit. Now it's bringing a little bit more of a harshness to it. This song is like 3 tracks in one. They're fusing so many different sections on. They all have very different sounds. Well, that was track 10, Unretrofied. Very unexpected. It started off so atmospheric, and there were like some really subtle electronic elements, and I loved the orchestral sound it had as well. And then when the chorus came in, I was just expecting them to bring that awesome, Dillinger Escape Plan harshness and heaviness that they usually just bring on the chorus. And it kind of did the opposite. They brought a really amazing smooth tone to the chorus of that one. But moving on to track 11, the final song on Miss Machine, we have The Perfect Design. Alright, I guess we're ending on a very punchy note. See how they just go back and forth between these two sounds? This song just sounds so heavy at this part. That was track 11, The Perfect Design. I thought that one was just an amazing barrage of energy just coming at you to close that album on. Just so much aggression, but it's just balanced with so much creativity and playfulness at the same time. They do a fantastic job of that. His vocal delivery too on that one was really, really impressive, and I loved how they were going back and forth on that really intense bit, and then they would just pull it in all of a sudden, and it became really fluid and jazzy and kind of relaxing. It like gave you a moment to breathe before the song just took off again. Well, that is going to conclude my reaction to Miss Machine, the second studio album from the band The Dillinger Escape Plan. As per usual with the Dillinger Escape Plan, this one was so entertaining to listen to. Calculating Infinity, their debut studio album, I think brought a little bit more harshness, maybe almost a little bit more of an industrial sound to it. And then their EP with Mike Patton on vocals, Irony is a Dead Scene, just brought a lot of fun and kind of a playfulness to it. And I thought Miss Machine kind of fused the two. It had a little bit of that harshness that Calculating Infinity had, but then they were definitely fusing on a lot of just fun experimental stuff on this album that I absolutely loved. I think if I had to pick my standout tracks, the two that really shone for me personally were track 2, Sunshine the Werewolf, and track 5, Phone Home. I just really liked the atmospheric, kind of haunted, creepy quality that those two tracks had. But this whole thing was absolutely fantastic, and I am more excited than ever now to dive further into the Dillinger Escape Plan's albums. But yeah, as usual, thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned, and I will see you in the next video.